Denver Nuggets are your NBA champions.
World champs. The
Thoughts?
world champs.
World champs. First time ever in the history of the franchise. Mike Malone, just a couple things I want to throw out there. Mike Malone is the coach of 8 years. I had a conversation with my buddy and a couple conversations we've been having in the past. People are so quick to fire coaches, change it up in the NBA. This is a coach where they let things ride. Things weren't perfect. They hadn't been to the finals yet. They'd been to the Western Conference Finals. They'd had injuries. They let Mike Malone coach this team and stick with this team, and I think it paid off. Also, to me, very interesting, and I have no shame in saying I think it was there's a lot of confusion when Mike Malone was hired. He was a great assistant for the Warriors. Steph, Draymond, a lot of those guys gave him credit for building upon what the Warriors became. He went to Sacramento. After 2 seasons, I believe they fired him. They fired him early into the second season, and many people were like, oh, another recycled coach, recycled goods. Is that a good hire for Denver? And ultimately, I think it proved to be the right hire for Denver. He's done a great job with this team, done a great job with helping develop Jokic, Murray, MPJ, installing Aaron Gordon with the team. Jokic there's 15 guys in the history of the league that have won multiple MVPs. Jokic was one of 3 that hadn't won a title. I'm assuming you can name the other 2. Just throwing out there a little brain twister, an easy one to get you working in the morning.
Am I going with it right now?
Yeah, going with it right now. Multi MVP, no finals win.
It's obviously not Steph. It's obviously not Giannis, not LeBron, not Kobe. Just thinking about the guys that have won multiple MVPs. It's not Bird.
Kobe has 1 MVP
in his career. 2 finals MVPs.
One was after 2000. One was before 2000.
Well, Harden and Russ each won 1 MVP.
Correct.
Oh, Nash, of course.
Your hint was almost one of your.
Right. I get your Kobe hint now. Yeah, thank you. So Nash, and then
I was gonna say one of your comps at your best. The facilitator.
No way.
I've heard you say it before when you were drunk. The other one.
No, I don't think there's a certain level of comps. I mean, we could talk about basketball comps and like how like run-of-the-mill players describe themselves as NBA players, and like there's a certain upper echelon of guys that probably should be never touched if you never played college basketball. And I don't fall in that category. I never played college basketball, so I probably should never compare myself to Steve Nash. Probably should never compare myself to Steph Curry, Dirk, LeBron. I mean, I'm not going to get compared to those guys anyway, but I'm just saying like they seem a little bit off limits. And then the other 2-time MVP winner who did not win an NBA Finals is
90s.
Well, Jordan won, Hakeem won. Who are our other finals winners in that era?
Just Jordan. Who did they beat?
Oh, Malone.
Who they beat?
Malone. Yeah.
My finals my player comp was retired last night.
He retired from the NBA?
Yeah, my player comp, I think.
You did?
Yeah, he did. My player comp.
Is that your player comp?
Has to be. An older Haslam. Just like on the bench, high-fiving, like hyping, coaching, helping, all
your
that.
Player comp is
that's my player comp.
It's not a poor man's version of this. I think it's the worst man's version of Andre Miller is your player comp. I just like you're not a power forward. You know what I mean? So it's like the Udonis Haslem comp is tough, but I like you've got the same
Tony Snell
zeros in every category. No.
I get boards. And
to be honest, Tony Snell is a pretty good spot up 3-point shooter, and that's not necessarily your forte.
Not at all. But